Abinya, 23rd of January 2024, and I'm rough as a bear's arse, if I'm honest. On my second day off work, and I'll be honest, I feel crap. The weather's crap, everything's crap at the minute. I managed to get the second half of the floor down, which I'll show you in a minute because I brought the keys up with me. I had a bit of a brainwave, if you like. You know, I've got to sort this. Sorry lads, sorry guys, I feel rubbish. I've got to sort this raised bed out, planted bed, and sort of back it up as best I can. I'll show you what I've come up with. Easier to show you. So what I've got there, I've put a load of bricks in to raise the level. It'll raise the level, it also backs this wall up. So what I'm going to do is, I've still got the bricks to finish off down there, which sort of, they're just loosely stacked in. Just basically threw in there. Sharp sand, slurry mix, in with that, let it run in, and then it should grab everything, tighten it all up, basically make a solid block. Then I'll form over the top what I need to do with some guttering. So again, like I've said before, we'll be chamfered both sides. I'll be coming up to sort of roughly the top of the blocks, and we're away. That's that anyway. So I've still got these blocks to lay in when I feel better. I did finish off the floor, as I said, in there. I'll show you that in a minute. I've got the fish at the minute treating for sleeping sickness because Kohaku was blood red. It's just sitting down there at the minute. It's a little bit shaded in there because more covers them white instead of clear. But in all fairness, everything seems fine. I'm at 0.5 of salt. And at the minute I've got the temperature to 16. It's a bit of a battle to get it up, to be honest, but we can get in there. 16. Ideally I'm trying to get to 20 at least, and leave them a fortnight in the salt. Anybody who's ever treated for sleeping sickness, I'll know what the crack is. So I'll give them another couple of days. I'll have a dose of Alprex as well. So yeah, Kohaku does look better than what it did. It was almost blood red. Now it's out of the water, looking like a right bag of shit. As you know, I've lost a few, but looking at it, could have been sleeping sickness. But it is what it is. It's always the winter time, mate. Like I've said before, it's always a bag of crap. We did lose a panel as well for the storm, so I've had to bodge that. So these need replaced anyway. As you can see, they're knackered, them all nailed, them shit. Those just cheap panels. That one's been there years. That's a load of decking boards I had, and I made a panel up. Probably never rot, but them down there, them four, I'm crap. So when I get round to doing what I've got to here, I'll see what size panels can go in there, and then we can see what's got to go on there. So there's the floor. I ain't trod on it yet. Well, I've tried to step over it, as you can see, and just caught it. I would imagine that's now. Well, here we go. Straight on, straight off. That's the first foot what's gone on it. So yeah, floor's all in anyway. Am I zoomed in here? Floor's in. So my floor now, sorry about that. My floor now is all complete, if you like. I'm going to tread on it now. I don't know if it's run off yet. So my floor's all complete. I shouldn't even be out here, but it is what it is. Just thought I'd show you. So we've got the floor done anyway. So next on the agenda is going to be the plumbing. So the plumbing's got to continue across here. I think I might have to get the tap moved. Because if the plumbing is coming across here, these two controller boxes have got to be moved over to there, because the pumps are more going up that end, up in that corner. And the drum, and obviously the drum, I think is going to have to go across there like it was. But I was got to go up there, and then I might just get the drop and jack mat in here. And the pumps might even have to come out sort of over here in this area, sort of behind the door, if you like. So I've got that sort of area to fit the pumps in. So there you go, just a quick one from me to start things off again. Thanks everybody for comments on the Rod Baston trip. Good day out, to be fair. As I said, there'll be another one in March. So if you fancy it, I'll put it on my community post anyway when their next open day is. And we'll take it from there. Right then guys, I'll leave you to it. I'm going back in the warm. Catch you later. Show you what this Kavaku's like now, Mad Dog. You know, you got a clue where it is. That's happened over the last couple of days, so yeah. Could be sleeping sickness, like we've said. Look at it. Blood red, the veins. Anyone wait to find out, my man? Got the heater on. Look at it, don't even know where it fucking is. Got the heater on. Sitting at 4 degrees. So we'll see what happens, eh? I'm contemplating now where to go and get changed to get the fucking concrete done. Should have been done by now. Yeah, well, holding me back, that is. Let's have a go, eh? I've been, yeah. Saturday, the 27th of January. And I've had the week off work. I've been well. Feeling better, a little bit better now within myself. So, last couple of days I've probably started to get over the infection I've had, which fucking chest. So the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was awful, if I'm honest. It was one of them where it just coughing, and I mean it's like I've been jabbed in the ribs. Thursday, Friday I felt a hell of a lot better, if I'm honest, and then Friday I seem to go downhill again, and it's my own fault, and I'll show you why in a minute. I've had a go, if I'm honest. I've had a go while I've been off work. My gaffer probably ain't going to enjoy watching this, but while I've been off work, I thought, you know what, I could just sit here and just die. That's how I felt. I felt like I was just dying. So I thought, bugger it, I'm going up the garden. So first of all, I had a route down the side of the shed because I know I bought some green stuff back years and years ago, and it's always been right underneath everything down the side of my shed. So I managed to dig that out, which is like a guttering. They call it split duct. So I managed to root that out. I've got one piece of that, which was just slightly too short, but it's just enough. It'll do. Oh god, that's been up there since I bought the green pipe, where I was all underground. That's been there years and years. That has. I originally bought it to put guttering on me shed, but I could never find any sort of bracket to sort of fit it unless I made my own, and I just couldn't be arsed in the end. You know me. So I've backed the wall up. That wall there is all backed up now. I'll show you in a minute. But anybody who says that wall's ever going to move now, I defy anybody. You can drive a car into that, it won't shift. It won't shift. I actually mixed around about 1 3/4 tons, and also, as I documented before, I laid all the bricks in. So what I've done, I mixed 1 3/4 tons of sharp sand and ballast. That's all I've got left, and it's about a foot there, round about. Now I've still got a chamfer it. Still got a chamfer down into this gully. I've drilled an hole out in the wall down here. That's a 16mm hole. Of course, I've had the hose pipe on it, and it just runs away lovely. So by the time everything's chamfered, again, my gaffer will love that word. It's a word we used to use regular. Chamfered into that gully, happy days. It's like I said, that's been behind the shed donkey's years. I forgot about it actually until I just see a bit of green sticking out. I thought, what's that? I remembered I'd got it. Stuck behind that shed there, down the side. There's still a load of pipe down there. So still got that to chamfer. So there's still probably another half a ton of concrete got to go in this. But that is a solid block of concrete now. So that ain't moving. Don't care. That's the strongest part of this pond. As you can see, I've also got the little pump out, and I pumped it out the other day as well, although it has rained since. Sponges are still here, look. It has rained since. I thought I'll pump it out just to get on top of that water, and it saves me a bit of time in the long run. Though that was something I could just come up, switch it on, go back in the house and leave it alone. It took about, well, near enough about 8 hours, I suppose, just to pump out. You can slightly see the line. Where am I? Slightly see the line around the pond where the watermark is. About 4 inches off the top of that shelf. That's where it got to. Obviously, the reason I've got to pump it out as well is I've got to clean it out. So I've got to get in there. I've got to basically get a broom on the walls, go around the walls, get all the crap down into the drain, clean the drain out, and then I can salt scrub it. Which, salt scrubbing, if you've never done it on fiberglass, my way of doing it is I'll probably put about as much water as what's in there now back in. Once I've got all the crap out and got the sand and as much sand and stuff as I can get out, I'll put about as much water in there as I've got in now. I'll smack a bag of salt in there, and then I'll just brush up the walls, brush it all up the walls, and the salt just takes off the styrene on the top of the what's left on the top of the fiberglass. Is it detrimental? I don't know, if I'm perfectly honest. It's an argument, and I know people have done ponds and never done that, never salt scrubbed them. I did my original pond, and I'll probably end up doing this one as well. Well, I know I will. I have got to get some more salt. The reason being, I don't know if I documented it before, I've only got half a bag of salt left in there now. But these, as you can see, the covers I'm on the sleep pond. Zoom it out a bit. Covers them on, and so there's a load of crap on the covers. That's, to be honest, that crap on the covers to hold it down, because they fly away. These, if you remember, I don't know if I documented the Kawaku. If I didn't, I'll have to put a bit of a video on what I sent to the lads. Here's the Kawaku now. That Kawaku was unrecognisable just over a week ago. Just casting your mind back, or looking back on the videos. If you remember, I took the fish out of here, they went to Mad Dogs, but while I was doing that I was picking some little showers out, some smaller showers. Not giving it any thought, threw them from out of there into here. Everything was the same temperature and everything was fine, and for the first week they were great. And then they all went wrong, just my luck. And that's what I was saying about the temperature. It never goes right with the temperature. So that's, if you remember, I did a full or half a water change, half a pond water change on this pond, through the advice of the lads, or through Copy. Copy was bugging me, just do a way to change straight out the tap, blah blah blah, which I used to do. I always used to do that. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. Can't lose nothing, I'll give it a go. Nothing improved, nothing got better. Got them up temperature a little bit, put some Alprex in, nothing improved, nothing got better. And it was only a conversation that I had with, well, Mad Dog was actually having the conversation with Simon at Rodbaston. And they got into the subject of sleeping sickness. Then the penny dropped. If you remember, if you look back on my videos again from last summer, the showers I spawned myself and I had in here, I introduced some Cuttlebrook fish. I had some shagoys and achiever and stuff from Cuttlebrook. I introduced them and everything went tits. You remember? Sleeping sickness, guys. Sleeping sickness is something that's very rarely covered on YouTube videos, like with the hobbyists. And it's something where a lot of people don't really understand. I ain't saying I'm an expert on it, to be honest, but you've got to look for the signs. So let's say, for instance, you've got a great pond. You've got a pond that's been going for a long time and everything's fine, and you decide to introduce a new fish. Now, from what I can gather, some of the Japanese breeders dealing with sleeping sickness before they ship them. This is the understanding. Whether it's correct or not, I have no idea. So the sleeping sickness is treated in Japan, but no British fish, no English bred fish at all, from what I'm aware, unless there's any breeders out there who watch this and they can tell me any different. And when I say breeders, I mean commercial breeders, the big boys in the UK, what we've all heard of. None of them treat for sleeping sickness, because obviously it costs them an absolute fortune to do that. So they ship them out as they are. So if you introduce a fish, especially an English bred fish, let's go down that route, and you introduce it into a pond that's been fine for a long time, You could introduce that fish and introduce or kick off the sleeping sickness or sleeping disease, sleeping virus, whatever you want to call it, because it is viral. You could kick that off in your pond. Now, there's a way you've got to deal with it then, because if you don't deal with it, what that sickness will do, it basically puts them to sleep. So what you'll see is your fish, you think I'm dead, or they're floating around the top dead, or they'll mucus up, they'll clamp up and lethargic, and the eyes will sink in, all sorts. You know, they basically look as though they're dying. When I very first thought I'd got it, or what I very first thought was I got KHV, so I got tested for that. I had a couple of guys come down, and they come down and they tested for KHV and everything was fine. But with the sleeping sickness, like I said, they'll go absolutely tits. And if your other fish have never been treated for sleeping sickness, expect everything else to go bad. So, how do we deal with sleeping sickness? Well, from my experience, and this is only from my experience, I ain't saying this is the right or wrong way to do it. Obviously, a couple of YouTube searches and speaking to a few friends, and Ricky at Koi Talk or Koi Al Sale, he's put a video out there explaining this as well. Sleeping sickness, we've got to basically get the salt up, get the heat up, and leave them sit there for a couple of weeks. Now in the pond, when I had the showers in the sleeper pond, and I put them in, and I introduced the other fish, all I'd got at the time, I don't want to put them in there because I've got other fish in there what we're doing fine. All I've got at the time were, I've got a 4 foot round vat, so I had to get the showers out of the sleeper pond, put them in the 4 foot round vat. I put the salt in there with them, and after a couple of days of salting them, I put Alporex in there. Now the Alporex is to kill any Costia or anything what might have appeared, or any killers like your white spot, your Costia, your Trichodina, you know, your killer parasites. That's to eliminate them while they've been going while they've been clamped up and whatever else. So excuse me guys, sorry. So I've got them in there, put them on the salt. I've got the salt up to 0.7, if I remember right. Yeah, 0.7 on the salt. As I said, a couple of days after, a couple of doses of Alporex, and over a period of about 2 weeks, I then got them out and I documented it, got them out, and I put them in there, and they were lovely, absolutely lovely, and they were mint all the time then, no problem at all. So introducing, obviously that was the first batch of fish I ever put in there. Then if you remember, I had a spawning in there, and then we went through all that and everything else. Then when I sorted out from last year's fish, and I sorted them out and sent them over to Mad Dogs, that's when I introduced from showers from out of there from last year, which was after the first initial dose of sleeping sickness. I introduced them from out of there from last summer, and I put them into the sleeper pond. That kicked it off, and that Kawaku, I lost my Sankey. I thought I'd lost my Sankey, knowing what I know now, or realising what I know now. That would have been saved. Anyway, this pond now is up to 0.6, or just over 0.6 of salt. It's on 20, I'll show you. Just there to my shed. 23.5 degrees. Around about between 0.6 and 0.7 of salt. I've had Alporex, and I'm totally different. I understand that the heat's obviously going to pick them up as well, but it's the salt what gets rid of that sleeping sickness. So it is what it is. I mean, as you can see, them all up. I'm looking for, well, I'm being fed. At 23.5 degrees, I'm going to be fed, are they? But them all sound. A couple of little issues I've got to sort out. One is a Chagoy, which I've got to knock on its lip. That was also, that one there, that Goshki was just swum past. The 2 Goshkis I've got in this pond actually looked like Blackmores. You've seen the eyes on Blackmores. Popeye, I've just noticed that Goshki's eyes have gone back in now. Again, that's down to the salt equalising out the water for the immune system to kick in and obviously get rid of it. There is a word for it, but I can't think of it in a minute. I'll put it in the description if I think about it. But there you go, that's just a brief introduction as to what's been going on in this pond again. If I'd had bad luck with this pond, I wouldn't have no luck at all, would I? That's why the covers are on, that's why the salt's up, that's why the temperature's up. We've had sleeping sickness and it's a week in now. But I'm looking alright, I'm looking alright in general. Bit of car pox on that Jaguar there. But yeah, there you go. My brief description of sleeping sickness. So as we continue, today I'm going to do a job which I wanted to do for a long time. Well, I wanted to do full stop since I built this bloody filter house. And that's tank it up. Personally, I don't think it needs it now because I've raised the floor. So I'm 6 inches above ground level, or the original ground level. The only place what needs tanking up would be across the back of that wall there, because as we know, everything's built up behind there. So obviously I've got to dig that lot out. Everything's got to come down a foot. We've already documented all that. Dirt's right against the wall, but in all fairness, I've got a double skin there. You could probably see a little bit of a slight difference across that wall. I'm going to tank up to around about where the red brick is, all the way around. And then what I might do is I might tank up a little bit higher on this side because of the raised bed. But when I've chamfered that cement down on the raised bed, I'm going to tank that inside as well. This tanking, if you've never done tanking, it's just a waterproof coat at the end of the day. It's just like bloody cement. You just paint it on, nice and thick. So I'm going to do that today. Obviously I'm going to make a mess, and that's what I'm doing. The blocks, you're probably wondering what they're for. They're for the drum filter. So they're laid in. So we're going to have a drum there, bio, jack matting, pumps up, return. Valves will go over here. So I've got the valves all ready to go wherever I've put them. There. So there'll be 2 valves there, side by side, and then everything will just, that's the returns. I have had a thought about the returns as well, whether if I get a leak under that concrete, what you'll see will happen then. These will be cut off here. There'll be 2 pipes going through the wall and 2 over the top returns. Simple as. So, that's where I am. So even though I still a 100%, I'm gonna try and crack on. I've got to crack on. With Malva Pete next week. Pete should be doing a video next week, or releasing one. There's no reason for him not to. We don't see enough of Pete, do we? At the end of the day, no Calpy, he's the same. But I know Calpy's had a nightmare with his van. I think he's documented that as well, so you might see that. I've rattled on here for 16 minutes. Nearly 17 minutes now. Got plenty to catch up on. So I'm going to try and get this tanking done today, just to keep them lot off my back. The mad dog and the bloody kelp. Keep them off my back and let them leave me alone then, hopefully. I love them to bits. Love them to bits, you got away. So I'll catch you later, guys. I'll let you have a look when it's done. And I'll leave it there. Catch you in a bit. So I'm about half an hour in. This is the first coat on. Needs a second coat. It is slightly thin in places, but it is what it is. Personally, I don't think I need this, but I've been talked into getting it done. I've got the stuff, I might as well do it. So I'm around about halfway in. I've still got a touch up over here. Got to find a smaller brush out to do that in. But it is what it is. It's nice and toasty in here. I've got it nice and warm, so I'm trying to dry it out a little bit. I've still got this half to do, just round this part. So I've still got this to do around here. That ain't going to take me long, so I'm going to sort of do another mix now and get that ready. And in the meantime, that'll be drying. So hopefully by the time I've done that, we'll be back from here. So that's where I started. And we'll be going back around there. I mean, it's horrible stuff. I don't like it, if I'm honest. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll keep saying that, I know. Future-proof. Is it future-proof or is it even needed? The biggest problem I had in here was the guttering, and that it was dripping against the wall. It was leading back under the. If you can imagine, my roof is sort of that way, and it was dripping back under and running back and coming down the wall. And that was the biggest problem I had. And a few weeks ago I sorted it out, just messing about until I get some proper roofing on there, which I think I'm going to go with steel tins. Kelpie's going to come over and help me with that. And since I've sorted it out, I've had no problem with water in here, and it's been okay, so it is what it is, as I've said. But there you go, tanking. I hate painting, and this is basically painting, and I don't like it. Haven't you? It's still Saturday. I've been busy all day, believe it or not, doing me job what I want to do. We've had 2 coats. To be quite honest, when I put the first coat on, I don't like it. Really don't like it. Now the second coat's on, it don't look too bad. It's got to dry out yet. It'll dry like grey from what I can gather. But I'll spin you around and I'll show you what I've done. There's the one wall. That's the wall. Obviously, there's the door. That's the wall. What normally gets wet. I'll put a bit too high in the corners, but never mind. Like I said, it'll dry grey. So obviously that's had 2 coats now. That's around about 3mm thick. I ain't saying it's perfect, but it don't look too bad. What I have done, I applied it with a fence brush, and then I've gone over it with a wet paintbrush just to try and give it some sort of nicer finish, if you like. Not being so coarse. I've still got a little bit to do, but I've got to wait for it to go off a little bit, which is just that patch there. You can see that behind the drum. So I've just got to brush that over. But all in all, it's had 2 coats all the way around. Just finished off that. You can probably tell there's a difference in the colour between them 2. So I've just finished off that. Got the diesel heater ticking away just to keep me warm in here. But yeah, it's one of them jobs, another job out of the way. And to be fair, I'm glad to see the back of it, because it's one thing that I want to do. That's all. Kelpie's taught me into it, and Mad Dog's taught me into it, and it is what it is. I suppose it's best to be done, even though I had no problem with water for a while now. So there you go. So that's where I am now. Saturday afternoon. What time is it? What time we got? It's 3:15. So I've been on this pretty much all day. Well, I have been on it all day. I had to take the missus up to the hospital. And other than that, I've been on this. So there you go. So happy days. That's just a bit of an update from me. Whether I shall end it here or whether I should put another bit on, I don't know. But that's the Saturday gone now, doing that. And 2.5 buckets, which I'm quite surprised. I used 2 buckets that size, and I'm halfway through the big bucket, so you can see this bucket side by side there. So I used 2 of the small ones, and I'm more than halfway through the bigger. But if you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly. Well, whether it's proper I don't know. First time I've ever attempted it. The only thing I've done is sort of watch YouTube videos and whatever else. So it is what it is. I'll tell you what though, this place now could do with paint, and it's happening. Really happening. Well, I hate painting it. If Kelpie wants to come over and paint it, he can paint it, because I hate. It's got to have a good wipe down though, all the pipe work and stuff. I've got dust and whatever else everywhere, so that's just a matter of time. I've got to get this pond up and running, got to get it up and running, and that's what I'm striving to do now. I mean, I've dragged my feet, of course I have, we all know it. Just call me lost half the time, but once I start I'm okay. But as I said, it don't look too bad. It don't really look too bad. It's had a couple of coats all the way up to that red brick. There's concrete all behind this wall anyway, all the way behind that. Lower than what the tanking is. That's above the ground level on the outside, as we know. I've gone higher on that wall because of my raised bed at the back. When I do the concrete on the raised bed, I shall also tank the concrete, so hopefully that'll seal everything. And well, did it need it? Nah. Does it matter? Nah. I already had the stuff, so it don't matter. There you go. Right, thanks for watching. As I said, I'll either end it here or I'll add a little bit on the end. So if not, thanks a lot guys, and I'll catch you next time.